Tonight was an incredible evening. I mean, so many great people in the room.
We've got brilliant minds around the table to discuss how does digitizing really reimagine what education could look like.
The conversation around issues of South Africa was so raw and passionate to me.
Good evening and welcome to another night with Glenfiddich. It is going to be a special occasion tonight as we welcome you to the Glenfiddich Challengers Club auction. Beautiful setting in the heart of Johannesburg at an excellent venue, and let me tell you, the night is set up to be something special. My name is Mo Flavor, and today it is an absolute honor to be here, to be taking you through another moment that we can tick off as far as Glenfiddich is concerned, as having done something really special. And I've got to say, it's been an incredible journey just being with the Challengers Club and looking at exactly how all of that has unfolded over the last couple of years. I mean, it all started really with a couple of like-minded people just coming together to talk about what it is in the world that they want to change and what it is that they do and why they are so driven to be the people they are. We then fast-tracked to bringing more mavericks and challengers into a room and coming up with some great ideas. Ideas that are all about solving some of the challenges that we have out there and seeing what those are. And tonight we reveal just one solution to the many challenges that are out there. So as I said, it's been a beautiful journey, and I think it's important to give a bit of insight into what's been happening over the last couple of months. So we've had some of the finest challengers from around the country, people of different backgrounds, men and women coming together in a room to put forward some challenges that they think need to be given attention to. And of course, there are many, and they range. The beauty of it all is that we went out then, took all these challenges, put it out to you as the Glenfiddich community to ask you which of these challenges you believe we need to tackle right now. And we're going to find out more about the lady behind the idea around the challenge and the solution to it tonight. She's here, along with many other fabulous people. And of course, as I mentioned, this is a special event tonight. And no Glenfiddich event happens without a black carpet, without the perfect sort of setting, you know. And we're very excited to be here tonight. And as you can see, I'm set up to be chatting to some of the great guests that are coming through this evening. So, of course, what we'll do throughout is show you all the bits and pieces around the Challengers Club, the journey, the auction, and of course, even the big idea tonight that we're going to be looking at, the idea that we're hoping to raise money for so that we can back it and make it a reality. We'll give you more details on that as the evening progresses. One of my good friends, Maps Mapunyani, is also in the house. He's going to be running the auction on the other side. But as I said, the cameras are going to be moving around. We're going to show you exactly what is going down tonight. Most importantly, feel free to chat to us right here on our live stream. Send us your comments, messages. We'll read them out. I've got a screen here that is going to be pumping all those messages and comments. So send them through, and we'll bring you in on the action of what's happening here tonight. Okay, so my first guest is a lady who's been a part of this journey and one of the most incredible people you will ever meet in the Glenfiddich family. Let's welcome Kelly Johnson.
Hi.
You are looking fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you. A little bit of glitz and glam.
Well, a little bit is an understatement because, you know, when we talk Glenfiddich, it's about prestige and it's about respect. And I was actually saying that to somebody before we started the live stream. That is what stands out to me. Let's talk about this journey. I've hit just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what the Challengers Club is about, how we even got here tonight to this auction where we're trying to make sure that we've got the money to back this big idea that we're on about tonight.
Yeah, so it's always a hard question, right? Because I feel like the Challengers Club started in 2019 as a experiential space. We brought people together, we got conversations going, we recorded all of the conversations, we had beautiful podcasts as an output, And I guess for me, one of the most important things was kind of saying there was such passion in the room throughout all those conversations in 2019. And I kind of sat and thought to myself, how do we turn these conversations into something that's meaningful?
Sure.
Beautiful minds. I mean, every person that was around the table had something to contribute. What I found interesting all the time was the collaboration with different industries.
Yes.
You'd have a creative in the room. You'd have somebody that's, from a completely analytical background. And somehow all those collaborations made for such beautiful conversations. I think I needed to ask myself hard questions about what is our brand purpose? What do we stand for? What do we want to be? And I always say this, we are beyond a whiskey brand. It's not about that. It's not about the product.
Sure.
Our product is the world's most awarded. I don't need to do the hard sells on that. I think the quality speaks for itself. But for me, it was more about saying, how do we kind of stretch ourselves? How do we ask ourselves where next? How do we say to ourselves, well, what do we want to be? How do we want to move society forward? And it was actually at that juncture that COVID happened. And I think we paused. And there was a beautiful moment in that pause where we said to ourselves, well, if we are taking this moment to almost reset, to reevaluate, what are we trying to do? And I think what I love the most about the Challengers Club and this version that we brought out in 2021 is that it's allowed us to actually tackle real issues, real relevant issues to South Africa. And, the ability to be a global brand but be locally relevant has been beauty in itself. And I think that's the magic of what we sit here now to experience, is that I sit in this, call it the end of the 6-month campaign, but it's not that for me. It's a journey, and it's the beginning of a journey.
Sure.
So I'm super proud as I sit here. I'm representing a lot of people behind the scenes, obviously, and I have the honor of doing it because I think this is something that you wait your whole life to be able to do, is to make a change.
Sure.
And I think we are doing that through localizing digital education.
I mean, I was going to come to that, and we speak about purpose, and I alluded to the journey of the Challengers Club, first to a room full of challengers and mavericks, to now, yes, we're done with the talking, now we implement. Why is that so important in terms of, from a Glenfiddich point of view and what you stand for as well as a brand?
So I think, we could have had all those conversations so we were blue in the face. I think conversations are happening all the time, like conversations happen around many tables. I think what we said is, if we do not put a stake in the ground to make this thing tangible, then we are like all the other brands that are just talking and jumping onto topical issues in South Africa. Why it was important for me to actually be a bit of a kind of risk taker is because that's what Glenfiddich is.
Sure.
It's a maverick brand. It nowhere in all of its 170 years of existence, it's never done that. It's never stuck to any kind of conformity in its simplest form. So I think for me, we needed to kind of take a risk, and I think it's a meaningful kind of piece that we found ourselves in now. So I think that's why it was important. It linked back to brand purpose.
Totally. Let's talk about the purpose aspect of it, because here we are, having had a room full of challengers who all had this issue or this challenge that they felt needed to be dealt with, needed to be resolved in whatever way. Out of all of the people in the room, Baratang Mia was, I suppose, a shining star in a room of shining stars, because her idea is the one that was voted for by the Glenfiddich community. Let's talk about this app and what that means for this journey at the moment.
Yeah. So it's interesting, Mo, because I think when we started the journey, we thought there'll be a challenge that South Africa votes for, and it'll be kind of this thing that we try to solve somehow. And I'll be honest with you, I think with Baratang's solution, it was so tangible, and it was something that we thought, well, if we actually back this and conceptualize this, what can this be? Why it was so real for us is because, again, it links back to the fact that 8% of South Africa actually speaks English. Everybody has a cell phone in their hand. It felt logical that somehow we link the two, because at the end of the day, I think we realized that South Africa's been left behind in all ways, technologically, where are we? How are we bridging that gap? So I think it made so much sense. Her solution made so much sense to us. And I think having seen it come to life through the likes of Boozer, which is, the app that we have conceptualized with Baratang, I think it excites us because it's an opportunity for us to remain locally relevant, give people an opportunity to code in a language that's relevant to them, that they're comfortable in. But then on the flip side of that, through Bioting's amazing networks and connections, she's able to make us globally relevant. She's able to make us competitive. So what better way than for South Africa to stand up and say, we've got challenges, we acknowledge that, we can bridge the gap, and then we take it one step further by saying we can now play on a global field and we can be better than most. I think for me, that is what excites me the most about this, is it's so real to our challenges. But for all the challenges that there are, there's opportunity. And
Absolutely.
I think Booza is that opportunity. So, the public sector needs to step up. I think it needs to start playing a role. So this auction is exactly that. It's saying to individuals, companies, private sector, it's saying there are ways that we can get involved.
Yeah, let's talk about it, because yes, we have localizing digital education through this Booza app. That is what Baratang has put together. But now we need the money to bring it to life to an extent. We need to get people to put something on the table. Let's talk about this auction, Kelly. I mean, I saw the setup, and I've got to say, it is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And you'll see some shots of that as well. What can we expect from the flow of things tonight?
So the flow has, I think the auction for us is again, it's taking a bit of a risk. I think where we back ourselves is that a lot of the people that are here tonight have vested interest in not just tech. Some of them have vested interest in education. Some are extremely passionate about communication. And then others are just going, you know what, I love whiskey. Like, I love whiskey. I love Glenfiddich. I want to get my hands on things that nobody else has got.
Sure.
And I think, those aficionados, those are the guys that we kind of saying, well, come to this event, back something actually extremely, extremely purposeful and get your bottle of whiskey, on the flip side of that. What I love about Glenfiddich is that we've got such, we talk about soul, substance, storytelling. And when we wrap up everything we are as a brand, that is exactly what we are. So we've got the depth in our range. Whether you're talking about a Glenfiddich that's a 12-year-old or a Glenfiddich that's a 50-year-old, I think at the end of the day, the true core of what Glenfiddich stands for is exactly that. It's quality, it's exceptional, it's always ahead of its time. So why not take something that we're known for, put it on the stage and say, guys, we're bringing you all together. All of you have a bit of a, kind of an interest here. Like, let's bring it all together. Let's back something truly tangible that we believe in. And we South Africans, we must back it.
Sure.
So that's what we're doing here.
And how do you feel as somebody who's in her own way a challenger as well? You spoke a lot about risk taking and doing something different, etc., while still sticking to the true essence of what Glenfiddich is all about. Tonight is a combination of so much that's been happening for a while. How are you feeling right now about this moment today?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mixture, right, Mo? It's kind of like, again, you take a risk and you there's a lot of things you put your head on the block for. But I think what I love is that I think at the end of the day, if you're truly, truly passionate about what you do and there's authenticity behind it, I think you want people to leave here with a feeling, right? And I think that's hard to measure. But looking around the room, watching people interact, watching people engage, watching people network, watching people be here for a common purpose, for me, that's winning, in a lot of ways. So tonight, regardless of what we raise, regardless of anything, I think I'm proud of the brand's journey. I'm personally proud of the fact that we've done something that's never been done before.
Sure.
I mean, just being able to put an auction of this, magnitude together, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's really great, and I'm proud. I'm proud that I'm kind of trying to pioneer it in a way. there's always risk with that, I suppose, in itself, but super confident that I live the brand's values as well. So there's never a disconnect for me. There never is.
I love the fact that from a global perspective with Glenfiddich, they're watching what we're doing as South Africa and what you're doing with your team, and they love it. And it's no longer about, them giving you ideas. We also have some great stuff that we are showing them of where things can go, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's what the beauty of all of this is Glenfiddich also is 100% aligned to the fact that local relevancy is what it's about. And I think they give us a lot of kind of freedom to say, live within the brand spirit. That's the parameter. Inspire the next generation of Mavericks. That's the purpose, right? How do you inspire? By doing. And it's simple. You've got to do in order to inspire. So I'm really happy at the fact that we get to do something that is locally relevant, and again, for them to acknowledge that this is something we can roll out around the world, because again, every country, no matter what, wherever Glenfiddich exists, there's challenges, there's local challenges, and if this kind of thing works, we use the power of the brand to connect people, the power of the collective.
Sure.
And, you know, we don't struggle within a Glenfiddich world to have people that love our brand. What we need to do is connect the love of people for the brand,
Sure.
and then, you know, things that actually move society forward.
Sure.
And that's what we're doing here. So, yeah, really proud that we can localize it.
Well done. I mean, your team and you have done a fantastic job, and this is a really special thing that you have going on here tonight. Is amazing, and I think the journey has been really fulfilling even for me as well. So thank you, and
Thank
we're
you.
wishing you all the best.
Thanks, Mo.
Thank you. There's so many other people that I need to speak to, Kelly.
Sure. Yeah.
Great people.
So I need to
tonight.
leave now, is
So
what you
if-
say.
If
Yeah.
but interestingly, and I've seen a couple of cocktails. I'll bring Jazz in on that later, because obviously he's the connoisseur. But I mean, everything is so well curated, and I'm just looking around the setting. You know, when you walk in, you know, the black carpet and the different areas that you're using.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a key part of the brand experience as well, isn't it?
100%. So this is the thing. I think when we talk about events, I mean, this is why I love this. It's completely compliant. It's COVID compliant. You know, wherever we can, we've created spaces and experiences where people can actually experience the brand in different ways. So every single touch point in this event, let's call it, or, you know, it really has been thought out. It's been considered. It's been thoughtful, and I think that's what luxury is at the end of the day.
Sure.
Glenfiddich is a luxury brand, so we were not going to let ourselves down by being hasty about this,
Sure.
by rushing it. So every part of this journey for us is important,
Yeah.
and every single detail has been mulled over for a long time. So yeah, definitely that we wouldn't do it any other way. Let's put it that way.
Oh man, this is top class stuff. And I've enjoyed just looking around,
Yeah.
you know, mingling with a couple of folks out here as well.
Yeah.
So thank you. This is a beautiful evening.
Well, thank you.
All right, you go enjoy yourself. I'm sure there are a lot of other people.
Thanks
who
so
wanna speak
much.
to you.
Cool.
Kelly, nice one. All right, and as she steps off, we've got many other people to speak to tonight. Now, as you heard, that's why we're here. It's an auction, and of course, it's about this idea by Baratang Mia, who I alluded to earlier, who is just one of the challenges. We've been a part of this journey with this great app called Buza, solving the issue of, you know, digital education and localizing it. We'll speak to her later on. We'll bring her in. She'll come and explain exactly what this idea is all about. But while we do all of that, maybe let's give you a bit of an insight into the Challengers Club, the journey, and why we're here tonight. Tonight was an incredible evening. I mean, so many great people in the room.
We've got brilliant minds around the table to discuss how does digitizing really reimagine what education could look like.
The conversation around issues of South Africa was so raw and passionate to me.
Well, it's a fabulous evening with Glenfiddich tonight. The Challengers Club auction at Shepstone Gardens in the heart of Johannesburg. I mean, what a stunning venue, the perfect setting for what we are seeing here tonight. So, of course, we spoke a lot about the journey of the Challengers Club, how it all started and where we are. But we're also going to meet some of the faces who have been behind it and some of the key people who have formed part of this wonderful journey with Glenfiddich. Now, as I said earlier, Meps Pamponyani is in the house, and he'll be running the auction side of things. Him and I might even do a bit of, we'll see what happens there. But anything you want to say, all your comments, you can send them through. We are streaming live, so we're happy to read some of your comments on our screen, and we're looking forward to that. So yes, indeed, a beautiful night here as we celebrate so much as we are with Glenfiddich, of course. I believe Mr. Jez Tibini is ready, and if you can just join me on the couch. Brother, good evening.
Good, how are you, man?
Are you good?
I'm good, how are you?
You know, there's something about your style? I mean, you're a whiskey connoisseur, so naturally, one would assume that that's a part of it. But it's almost like your style has its own life. You know, where do you get that? Where does that come from?
I think one of the things that I've actually taken from my dad
Sure.
is fashion. I'm from Ekukuletu,
Yeah.
and Ekukuletu, siyashaya isidwedwe. So we always dress up for the occasion, and I think being with the brand and adding a lot of intrinsics from a fashion point of view, from a look and feel point of view, it literally just gave me that thing of
Sure.
being out there and showing up.
Well, I mean, listen, you're showing up, and I mean, the setup is absolutely impeccable.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your journey with Glenfiddich. I mean, you're a whiskey connoisseur. You're like the encyclopedia. Wherever you go, people want to know
I love
what
that.
you're going to say about whiskey. But, you know, where did your journey start with Glenfiddich?
It's been 9.5 years now with Glenfiddich. Started the agency, and I became part of the Edward Snell team, and actually part of the William Grant and Sons team with actually the owners of Glenfiddich. And it's so crazy because I was not chosen, or I didn't get into the role because I was drinking a lot of whiskey, but instead it's how I could connect with people and the storytelling.
Sure.
I mean, moving from quantity surveying to this side of town.
I mean, that's worlds apart.
It worlds apart.
Sure.
And I think for me, it's a matter of finding identity and seeing who I am. And it just so happened that I became part of this brand.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Before we talk about the expression that is being launched here tonight,
Yeah,
what makes a fine whiskey? You know, and I'm sure you get that question often.
absolutely.
What makes a fine whiskey?
Now, not taking the fact that we are the most awarded single malt, number one selling single malt, but a fine whiskey, it's a journey. Whiskey is not something that you just wake up in the morning and decide that I'm creating this expression. It's a journey. So it's how we've taken our whiskeys and created a journey, but also on an innovative stage. So that's what makes us totally different.
Sure.
And how everything sort of connects.
Sure. And I love that because, I mean, I've learned, you know, even through you that history is important in terms of, you know, where the whiskey is from, how it's made, the different processes.
I actually remember the first time I was taking you through that. I remember the first time I was taking you through that, like, a lot of people don't understand that it's not just about the spirit. It's what creates the spirit. It's the pioneering behind the spirit.
Sure.
You know, it's the story behind it. It's how a malt master will decide that we want to create something that is spectacular and opulent, as a Grand Caron.
Sure.
So it's not one-sided. It's not, you don't look at it in that way. You sort of look at it in a broader way, because it's something amazing. I know, because I've been through that.
Yeah. And one of the biggest things as well about whiskey, particularly with Glenfiddich, is the age statements.
Yeah.
You know, the 12-year-old, the 15-year-old,
Yeah.
the 18-year-old, etc. I mean, how do you navigate through that as a whiskey drinker? Is it about having a different age statement for different occasion, or is it about, you know, find what you like?
Yeah.
You know, if you're a 12-year-old guy, that's you. If you're a woman who loves your 15 or your 18, that's your vibe. Yeah.
You see, the perception behind age statements is that the more years it spends in the barrel, the better.
Sure.
My journey has taught me that becomes null and void. My personal favorite is the 12-year-old, because I find certain characters in there. But I can have a 21-year-old because at a certain time I feel like having a certain type of flavor profile.
Sure.
So it's not about how much money you can spend on a bottle, but it's about, number one, the journey that it takes you. Number two, it's how you connect with that spirit. So for me, I've connected with certain spirits within the brand, love them all, but there are certain ones that actually speaks to me in terms of what I love in a whiskey. Because remember, whiskey, it's an occasion. It's palate based.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's not about I don't like this because of this. No, no, no. There's actually an expression for you somewhere, somehow,
Sure.
within the Glenfiddich range.
And why do you think it's so important, Jez, for people to understand, you know, what whiskey is and how you should look at it when you consume it? Because, I mean, I'm sure you've seen a lot
Yeah.
of interesting,
Yeah.
strange things that people do with their whiskey.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, perception can actually kill a brand.
Mm.
And what we've done is we've taken out a lot of the perception where we came in and said, we want you to unlearn whiskey,
Mm.
you know, and where to next? The whiskey that actually changed the rule book forever. So those are not just things we decide in a boardroom when we're actually being creative,
Sure.
but it's literal. Because when we unlearn whiskey, we sort of customize it according to how the South African market loves it, how
Aha.
the Nigerian market loves it, how
Aha.
the French market, how the Asian market loves it.
Mm.
So perception can actually kill how a brand proceeds
Mm.
or how it goes forward.
Sure.
So for me, getting into the brand and coming in and introducing the brand into young guys.
Mm.
I mean, as a DJ, I'm out there, I see how things happen,
Sure.
but there's an aspiration that actually follows. If it's just a Puza, it means that it should be good.
Yeah.
But now it's how you bring it across.
Sure.
It's not clumsy.
Sure.
It's classy. It's
Yeah.
opulent.
Yes.
It's luxurious.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the full package.
It's a full package.
Now, let's talk about the expression being launched here tonight. I
Yep.
saw images, I saw bottles in the auction room. It's all happening.
Grand Caron. It's part of our grand series. So we've got the first one we actually introduced was the Grand Cru,
Yes.
which you know
Yes.
and love.
Yes.
But we've got the 21-year-old. We've got the 22-year-old.
I don't hear
cocktails.
that age statement often.
Exactly. So that was designed for the Asian market,
Right.
which is going to be on the silent auction
Oh,
from Monday onwards.
wow.
Now, when it comes to the Grand Series, the Grand Caron is one of our most opulent. I mean, you see the bottle, the filigree, the finishes on the inside, you know, the art on the inside. So we go into great detail to make sure that you are not just consuming a spirit, but you actually feel part of the creation of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And I love that because you mentioned the art. I mean, there's so many different things that you bring into, you know, the Glenfiddich whiskey journey.
Yep.
You know, we speak a lot about history, but even just, you know, the art of it. And I know exactly what you mean. I've seen it with a number of
Yep.
expressions. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with the Grand Caron, not only did we just create a 26-year-old, but the innovation was it's a 26-year-old that is finished in a cognac cask,
Right.
where now you have two worlds
Colliding.
colliding.
And why do you do that? Who does that cater for? Because I know with whiskey, it's about palates.
Yeah.
People who like certain things.
But don't ever forget that when we create these expressions, we think of a notion of there's a whiskey for every palate, yes, but also there are neglected palates.
Aha.
But how do you then bring something across? You need to innovate.
Sure.
You need to break the boundaries. When people are telling you no, you say, we are actually going to do this.
That's where we're going.
That's where we're going. Do you understand? So, Grand Caron is a typical innovation from Glenfiddich where we brought in two worlds. That's why even the finish, it's got a lot of beautiful French hues that are actually coming in. A lot of pastory, that cafe, the cafe cream, and all that. The sweetness, because we know how cognac is fine, but the DNA of Glenfiddich itself, we've always created whiskeys that are beautiful, sweet, floral, zesty, you know. So we've kept the DNA, but what we said that let's bring in something that can actually give it more depth through innovation.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And tonight we have all these beautiful expressions on display, Jez. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know if you've looked around. What's flowing in the glasses? I see there's cocktails. There's everything.
Now, people have always been taught how to drink the whiskey,
Sure.
and it's always been with a splash of water.
Yes.
You know, now the unlearning whiskey then comes in and says, we are a brand that actually break boundaries.
Mm.
So you see cocktails that are made with a 12-year-old, 15-year-old. That's what we do.
Mm.
We create, you know, those that unlearning whiskey, but at the same time, we bring that flavor profile or that character into our consumers, our guests in this moment.
Sure. No, I'm loving it, and I'm obviously gonna taste a few more cocktails tonight.
yeah.
But I'll be fine. But I'm gonna let you go because I know that a big part of being Jez Tibini, a whiskey connoisseur, a Glenfiddich guy, is people wanting to get your ear, people wanting to interact with you. So it's fine. I'll give you a moment to do that. The night is still long, but I'm also looking forward to that auction. And I just wonder how much money people are going to put down. I don't want to jinx anything,
Yes.
you know. But you know, even when we talk about the Grand Cru one, I just wonder.
I've worked so hard in sourcing these amazing expressions that are actually not available from Asia to the UK, to everywhere. I mean, if you look at the range, it sort of defines what Glenfiddich is. Very innovative, but at the same time, we've got expressions that people would love to have, but there comes a time where we will do them, and then we'd sort of move them to a limited edition. So those limited editions that are actually here are exactly why we want people to actually support tonight, because number one, it's mostly about the cause,
Sure.
but at the same time, you get an opportunity to have a certain expression that no one else can get
Sure.
in you.
I love that because you've been a part of that as well.
Yep.
Where there was a particular expression with your fingerprint on it.
Yep.
Just recently.
Yep.
I mean, just tell us about that journey very briefly, and why it's so special for you in your Glenfiddich journey.
You see, you get Olympics and you get the Commonwealth and all that, but there are certain things that sort of get you to a place where you are truly representing your country,
Sure.
your kasi,
Yes.
your people,
Yeah.
in a space where no one is playing in.
Sure.
I mean, to have a single malt that is introduced into our country, and the person who's part of that single malt has his fingerprint on it and is part of that 20.
Yes.
It's mind blowing,
Sure.
to say for a few words.
Yeah.
And the thing is, for me, it's a representative of who we are as Umzansi, who we are as Cape Town, as South Africa, as Gugulethu, but it's a representative of how a brand can be innovative, but at the same time, sort of represent the individuals of those
Totally.
of those 20 people
Totally.
into that particular expression.
No, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind, Jez, that we are in good hands as far as representation.
I love that.
Where Glenfiddich is concerned. So thank you for that, and thank you for this magnificent night. Enjoy your
Thank you.
evening.
It's an amazing evening.
Thank you so much. I know there are many other people that I need to speak to, Jez. So you can go and enjoy your evening.
Absolutely. I'll see you later.
I will definitely see you
Yeah.
later. Thank you so much, man. And of course, comments coming through. Feel free to send them. So many messages coming. And listen, I've just got to say that tonight is a special night. It's the Glenfiddich Challengers Club auction. And we're out here in Joburg just making sure that we make sure that this cause and this purpose comes to life. We'll speak to Barat Dangmea shortly. She's going to tell us about Buza. That is the big reason why we're here, to make sure that we raise the cash for that. How do we get here? Maybe a quick reminder on that journey.
Glenfiddich brings you the Challengers Club, a platform where mavericks share their stories of passion and purpose. This year, one of those mavericks will share her journey and long-lasting solution to localized digital education. Glenfiddich will then host an auction of some of their most rare expressions to raise funds in a quest to back that solution. South Africa has the highest percentage of mobile connections versus total population in the world, and yet only 8.1% of households speak English within the home.
And I think the society needs to shift and realize that we need to compete globally. And that we can only do by educating and opening opportunities to our people.
Meet Baratang Mia, tech entrepreneur and founder of Buza. Buza is a learning platform which will enable anyone to learn digital education content in their local languages or dialects.
There's two things happening in the education system.
Sure.
It's language and also technology was beginning to pick up. And I chose to use technology to accelerate education. And I then decided with tech, once you know it, it just gives you that superpower.
The tech is somewhat of an equalizer.
For me, it's an equalizer. And if you don't get it at the right time, you will never catch up. If I get a remote job, it's virtual. Nobody knows. It's because they know me with relations. But I can go online and just create a persona and work, and nobody will ever question me as long as I deliver. It's, for me, it's one of the best equalizer I would ever find in this world.
Buza is designed to target anyone looking to learn new digital skills, which will enable them to access more opportunities in the global economy. We aim to engage non-English first language individuals in order to create more inclusion in the economy.
We are at a point in time in our lives where we cannot say we can't use computers or tech or anything. We are at a point in our life where we can't be debating whether it should be 5G or 4G or what. If we're not part of it, we're going to be excluded. It's how we get there that's important.
Buza will be providing global standard educational courses that not only reach the masses, but also open up boundless technological opportunities. Through our partnerships with Microsoft, Khan Academy, LinkedIn, Udemy, Adobe, and Coursera, users of Buza will be able to obtain globally recognized certifications in their chosen learning path. This is how we equip the next generation to forge their own path, but also be globally competitive. Where there are challenges, we see opportunities. Glenfiddich has sourced a range of the rarest expressions from around the world for your bidding pleasure. We will use the power of the collective to raise funds towards our quest to localize digital education.
All right, so a special night, the Glenfiddich Challengers Club auction. And the lady of the moment, Baratang Mia, is sitting next to me right now. Good evening.
Good evening.
I mean, let's talk about where you're from. We're going to talk about Buza. We're going to talk about your idea and how it came about. But I think a person's story is powerful because it gives context to a bit about who they are and why they believe in the things they believe in and why they do the things they do. So tell us a bit about where you're from and just, you know, your view on life, you know, growing up as a young woman as well.
As we spoke last time, I have to always say that I'm from 3 places, because one of them, if I miss one is gonna.
Of course.
So I was born Klerksdorp, raised half Klerksdorp, Madikwe, and Yankeldorp. Madikwe and Yanker, most of the people don't know them. Or Madikwe, they will know because of the game reserve.
Yes, and I've been there a few times, so oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so the first 10 years of my life, I lived in Madikwe with my grandmother. And then I moved to Yankemdorp and lived with my mother. And then I moved back to Klerksdorp because my grandmother moved from Madikwe to Klerksdorp. So I went to Klerksdorp. Though I was born in Klerksdorp because that's the family home.
Yes, yes.
My great-grandmother lived there, and funny enough, she registered me as a baby. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a long story, but
I'm sure.
So I think I always say to people that, you know, when you grow up, your environment is fun, loving, happy. You don't know what's outside. What you're seeing in front of you is exciting. It's life, and that's all you know. But for me, because I traveled a lot around South Africa, I came from Madikwe and went to Jan Kemdorp dynamics are very different. Though they are both rural,
Sure.
different, the dynamics are very different. My mind was spurred to start thinking differently right from an early age. When I went to Klerksdorp, it was politics. I got there 1986, going to high school, politics left and right, and I became very conscious about what was happening in my country. And there was no opportunities for us.
And what do you then, because often we're told that we have to always have something we want to be one day, but we've got to look somewhere for inspiration, motivation. So outside of politics, what else do you think the world would be out there in terms of for you?
I wanted to be a lawyer. And my big passion here, I still think I should be a lawyer. I couldn't be a lawyer because I fell pregnant. I was 23 and I fell pregnant. 22, gave birth at 23, and they couldn't allow me to go and study. With accepted everything, but they wouldn't. In 1993, if you wanted to be a prosecutor, the government wouldn't accept you if you are pregnant or you have a child. Now that can only be proven if you are a woman.
Yeah.
Because the baby is registered under your watch.
Sure.
And that literally spiraled my life into a different direction. I think I got very disillusioned because that was the same year things were happening. My friends were leaving for universities, for everything, and I was just sitting there. So I went to, there was a department called Department of Manpower. You have to catch up with me. And I went to Manpower and registered myself for someone who's looking for a job.
Right.
And in the end, I ended up studying, going to sewing school, and I learned. The lady there loved me so much, and she taught me interior designing.
Wow.
And I started a business. Through that business, almost 5 years. In the process, I had 2 babies. But the dream never died.
Sure.
And the passion never died. I've always known that I think what I have, there's more.
Sure.
And I've always believed that I could be beyond what I'm
Absolutely.
encapsulated in.
Sure.
And university was one of those things. I believed in education. So we grew up in an environment where education was drilled into our heads. You have to go to school. So I then went to UCT, and I was already a mom, and I took my kids with me. So I became a mom, studying,
Had to find the balance there.
find a job.
Sure.
That's the thing. People say you have to find a balance. I always say when you've grown in an environment that I grew up in, you have to make things work.
Because that's what's right in front
That's
of you.
what's right in front of you. It might not be balanced. I think it's a balance, but it doesn't matter how much you balance. It's like you are juggling things all the time, but they have to work. And you just have to make sure you choose the right ones.
I mean, you've been involved a lot in youth, working with young people, young women, bringing them into this tech space. So when we talk about this Challengers Club, and as somebody who's a challenger themselves, I mean, what has been, the biggest thing about being a part of this for you? With everything you've experienced, some of which you've touched on, what has been, the highlight experience for you just being a part of this Challengers Club?
I've been alone. When you are alone, you do things. So
It's a beautiful journey, and it's a beautiful story, because if I were to summarize it for you right now, being a part of the Challengers Club, away from a space you would normally be in, sitting with people who are from different backgrounds, different sets of skills and expertise, having discussions about all the things that are wrong with the world, and eventually your challenge, localizing digital education, becoming that which people chose, online to be the challenge to solve, in the midst of everything. I mean, that is quite special. I can understand why it's an emotional thing, because it is a real journey for you.
I've been doing this for 18 years now, and it started as, I'm going to do this for 2 years and get a job, but it became too much of a passion, and it became more and more and more. And the more I climbed the ladder, the more I realized how tough it is. So people think it's more difficult for someone who doesn't have. It gets, as a black woman in the tech industry, the higher I went, more the punches and everything came my way, and I could not leave the space like that. I just felt like, you know what, even if sometimes, you become that token person, if somebody wants to say, oh, she doesn't know, that's their choice, because I'm here to represent a generation. And if I can stay, then the ones behind me are going to stay. But if I leave, when a woman fails, all women fail. A man can change his mind. Women can change their mind. You failed. Everybody failed. And look, I got to university. It was the first time I touched a computer. I had gone to a school where they were teaching me in Tswana hybrid English. And I got to university where I had to read and write in first language. And I knew I'm a very intelligent girl in school. Then I got to a space that told me that you don't belong here. This is South Africa. 80% of South Africans cannot read and write English properly. And it's a joke. And then we are digitizing the world. Technology has taken everything over. We are in COVID. Everybody's learning from these computers and everything. And we have kids, where I come from, in Jankem, who don't have internet. Today, I'm not talking about tomorrow. Even if they have that access to whatever, some summer of thing that they call internet, it's breaking out through the day. It's not to educate a child. Why are we doing that?
Yeah, and that is at the heart of the challenge you're trying to solve. So let's talk about Buza. It's an app.
I have to tell you what, I have to finish that. So all this time I've been doing this thing out of passion. I get recognized, they're giving awards, they're giving what, but nobody has ever said, I'm gonna walk with this journey with you. And I think for the past 5 months, Glenfiddich took this whole thing and walked the journey with me.
That's beautiful.
And
that's not something you've always experienced.
I've never.
In your life, as a professional, as a woman.
As a professional, as a woman, the whole industry. And I was saying, when I walked through the gate, like as we enter, I saw the whole thing of the auction, and I literally was in tears. I was like, when you've struggled so much and you believe in something so much, because I'm the product.
Yeah. Sure.
So I left the shack. Now I live in forever.
It's an interesting life story. It shows progress.
Then it's progress. Then and for me, I believe it's because I got educated and I got to understand technology. And I used it as my superpower. I learned skills that not many people can learn, especially coding and software engineering, idea generation. I traveled. I learned so much. Now I need to take whatever I've learned and I've collected all over the world and push it onto these kids. I'm not asking them, like literally. Dump it into their heads, and to find a partner or an organization that was willing to go all out, like all out.
That's beautiful.
It's been a journey.
Sure. So how will Buza benefit young people? Because tonight there's an auction which is literally about to start, and you're the star of the show. So for those who are watching us right now, simply put, Buza is an app that you created. Yes, you had a lot of advice backed by Glenfiddich, but tonight we need to raise the money. So why is this an important platform for young people out there?
We need to educate South Africans.
Sure.
It is an important platform because we are excluding people by virtue of, like I said, we have a challenge of language, we have a technical language. So when you learn in technology, you have to learn the technical language first, or your English first, and then technical language. If English is not your first language, you can't even communicate business-wise. So what we are trying to do with Buza, not what we are trying to, we're going to do it anyhow. What we are doing with Buza is to make sure that we bring all South Africans together. People can learn technology in their own mother tongue and be competitive globally. So we've partnered with corporates, we've reached out to Adobe, Khan Academy to say, give us your curriculum, LinkedIn, give us your curriculum, we'll localize it so that the competitiveness of an individual, because when I go to the market, people are not going to say, oh yeah, how's that? They're not going to feel sorry for me.
Sure.
So I need to be competitive, but a kickstart to say, I know you don't understand English for now. You see posh English, you see polished it. No, nothing, nada. It was there. So it's doable. When I believe in something, I believe you can train someone to speak a language. 6 months is enough, or 7 months. So what we're doing is we're giving them chunks of technical practice every day and challenges that they will learn and learn and learn. And after a short period of time, someone can code in Python because they've been learning in their mother tongue. After a while, they can write a syntax, and then English comes into the picture.
Absolutely.
They're not lost.
Look, I'm looking forward to tonight. I really am. And I saw a lot of money in that room earlier. So you need to go and get that money so that we can bring this to life. But all the best with Buza. I'm super proud of you. I love your life story. I love your journey. And I cannot wait to see where this is going to land. All the best. You can head out to the auction room. Tonight, it's all about you. Thank you, Baratan. Brilliant. And of course, as she steps off, it's been really a journey. And just with her own experience as well. I've got to say, there's been some incredible people who have been a part of the Glenfiddich Challengers Club, particularly with 2.0. You know, great minds from around the country, people with a worldly view, people who really have so much to offer. And perhaps you can take a look at that particular journey right now. Tonight was an incredible evening. I mean, so many great people in the room.
We've got brilliant minds around the table to discuss how does digitizing really reimagine what education could look like.
The conversation around issues of South Africa was so raw and passionate to me.
All right, as we continue to chat to some of the guests here tonight, some of them are no stranger to this Glenfiddich Challengers Club journey. One of them is Kola. Good evening, brother. Are you good?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm great. Every time you speak, you make sense. And that is
So
a rare
much pressure.
I mean, you've been a part of this Challengers Club journey. You've bounced off ideas, in some moments very heated, in ways that we can tackle different things, which is a beautiful thing. Summarize your journey for us on the Challengers Club and what it's been like for you.
Man, it's been a wonderful opportunity. Right? I think this is one of my first major brand partnerships, right? And it's great to see the value, and I'm looking forward to doing more of this. I think what I really loved about the whole innovation was the fact that we had to bring something to the table. We didn't just take pictures and smile.
Yeah,
they actually selected us for a reason, and they allowed us to actually execute. They allowed us to bring our ideas to to fruition. Also, I have an opportunity to invite some of my friends here, to come and upgrade their collection.
Yes.
Right. And raise money for education. So, man, wonderful and exciting opportunity.
You know, I was chatting to Baratang earlier, but I know she's always said good things about you. But I want to know what it is that drives you. What drives you?
I think for me, it's to do better, right? I think the biggest challenge we have to face comes from within, right? And I think one thing that drives me as a person is just trying to do better every day and showing up, right? And also I'm lucky to have friends from different walks of life, right? And every day it gives me a reason to be grateful for the success so far, and also gives me a reason to be on my feet to work towards what I envision for the future.
Let's talk about what the future looks for you. You've got an incredible story, a life story, and even in the world of business and your understanding of the world. So what does the future for Kola look like right now?
Man, I think it's a much bigger global play in the technology space. You know, working with startups and also well-established organizations to rethink digital transformation and you know, build great products that are customer-centric. Right. So I see myself working with a lot more learning institutions. You know, making changes to curriculum to make learners future fit. And also getting a lot more corporates to be involved in the learning environment, because that's the best way we can bridge the gap.
Sure. So just your quick comment before I let you go, because I know the auction is about to start. Baratang, you know, the app Booza, what is your comment on that? And also understanding, and I know this, that she has always wanted to bring you in on this idea.
No, thanks so much. I think it's a great opportunity to, you know, to come up with such an innovation right now, right? You know, we're thinking of localizing digital education and also keeping it globally relevant, right? Because we still want to be able to export our talent,
Sure.
right? And the approach to the curriculum design and making sure we can, you know, try new ways, which I've thought of, you know, over the last couple of years, is actually pretty exciting. One of them being, I've always thought entrepreneurship shouldn't be a standalone subject, right? Entrepreneurship should be, you know, a combination of, you know, should be embedded in different subjects, right? Because when I'm an entrepreneur in either aviation or different spaces, right? So, and what I love about the idea is we get to take different concepts and, you know, piece them together to make learners see how viable and, you know, and also what profitable businesses you can run from this innovation, right? So looking forward to connecting the dots, building great curriculum, and making it accessible to South Africans in the different languages.
I love that. One thing that stands out for me right now, Kola, is the power of collaboration. What has been your experience in that regard? Just over the years and in all the work you've done, what have you learned about collaborating with different people?
Man, you can't go far alone, right? You know, one of my mentors used to say, talent is universal, opportunity is not, right?
True.
So we need to be able to collaborate to actually tap into the best opportunities out there, right? And when I mentioned this at our last interview, a lot of the success of my company to date is actually because we're exposed to to projects in much more advanced economies. And when the country is taking a hit, we are kept afloat by those relationships, right? So I'm very intentional about collaborating, because that's the only way we could make a map, you know, make a map globally.
Absolutely. Kola, I need to let you go because the room is filling up and I don't want you to lose your spot. So let's enjoy this evening, brother. Thank you so much. You're an absolutely brilliant mind and you're a great person. Thank you for being a part of this journey.
Thank you for having me.
Great stuff. Go have some fun. Your friends are waiting.
Cheers.
We'll check you out in the auction room. And before we even go to the auction room, I just want to remind you about this expression here that Jay spoke about earlier that's going to be launched. And, you know, this 26-year-old is something special. Here's why. Solving the problem of you know, digital education, and Baratang feeling very passionate about the idea of localizing digital education through this platform. And as you heard with all the conversations that I've had this evening, this is going to happen regardless. And Glenfiddich has been a big part of bringing it all to life. Now, before we go into the auction room and see what's happening there, some comments coming in. So Danielle says Baratang is proof that the future is female. Yes, I totally agree with that, and more power to that. Shonisani also having a lot to say. You know, I love Baratang. You know, another one, Nangamso also talking about how Baratang is such a powerhouse. You know, you go girl. And a lot of people just looking forward to this. Really, it's incredible. Unati Bota also saying, wow, what an awesome journey. So I think Baratang is very inspirational as a person, just based on what I'm seeing here with the comments coming in. And I think above all, you know, yes, we can talk about Buza, but it's also the person behind, you know, the app, the person behind the story. And she's got such a powerful story, which adds so much. And when she brings all her knowledge, you know, that she's gained over the years, you know, in the tech space and working with a lot of young people onto this, I mean, I can only imagine, you know, what we're going to see happening with this. So I'm excited about it. The room in that auction area is full of money. I know this because Maps has told me. And Maps Waponyani is here tonight to make sure that people put something on the table. We don't know what the figures are going to look like tonight, but I can assure you that it's going to be something very encouraging. And I certainly hope that, you know, we get to that point, right? Where we can have something on the table to bring this to life. Now, of course, the evening is full of very, very special people. And I mentioned earlier about, you know, the fashion sense, and Jazz, you know, is one such person who has done it very well, just making sure that he's dressed in. I think I've tried as well, you know, and we'll talk about mine. Maybe we'll get some analysis on my fashion sense. But there's a man here who has certainly brought his game to the Glenfiddich occasion, and he's done it in such a fantastic way. And of course, you know, I'm just looking at the outfit as well, and I'm thinking, my goodness, where do I even start? Can I have this piece?
You can buy it.
Zukisi, welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
I mean, you're an incredible designer, and I love the fact that somewhere in there you've managed to find the blend between Glenfiddich and your work. Let's talk about your fashion journey up till now. We'll talk about as well, you know, your involvement with Glenfiddich, but just your story, you know, in growing up in the world of fashion.
Cool. I have a very interesting story. Totally self-taught.
Wow.
Studied accounting, become accounting qualified. I think it was just when I got my accounting job.
Sure.
I think I just worked for like a month, and then I got an opportunity to showcase that the Mercedes-Benz Cape Town Fashion Week, and the build up to that was just insane. Being self-taught, just navigating the space, finding yourself, developing the aesthetic, which is very. I feel like all those trials and that navigation sort of like helped me to be in a space where people look at the brand and they can immediately say that's imprint. So throughout showcasing at the Mercedes-Benz, AFI, SMNs Week, went to Nigeria. From Nigeria, I went to Ghana, showcased in Morocco. So there's just been a lot of things that I've done in such a short space of time. When I look at it, it's just been insane.
Let's talk about what it is that makes your particular work, your brand, so special, especially in a world where I think anyone can be a designer, but it's about those signature pieces. It's about the who, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. I think it's mostly when I decided to come into fashion, I saw that there was a lot of clothing. Like there wasn't going to be anything special unless I develop a story around it. So the brand has always been around storytelling and just appreciating my story as an African, but not just as a South African. Creating this Pan-African brand that looks to not just develop a piece of clothing. When people see the clothes, they can connect it to a certain time, a certain message that I want to communicate, or just there is an inspiration. There's something behind it. The clothing speaks something.
Sure. Yeah. So let's talk about what you are wearing now and what that speaks to. This is a beautiful piece.
Thank you.
Tell the story behind it.
Cool. So the print itself came about with the collaboration with Glenfiddich. So it was about this idea of two worlds coming together.
Sure.
The European world and my Afro-futuristic aesthetic. And with that, I decided to create a piece that was like very strong. When you look at it, it's like I look like a soldier.
Yes.
basically like an
Yes.
African
Yeah.
idea of what we're supposed to be in my world. So
Sure.
that's why it sort of like inspired it. Like I look like I'm gonna be going out and be fighting for something.
I mean, it's incredible. And I think you mentioned the phrase Afro-futuristic.
Afrofuturistic.
Is that an energy? Is that a spirit? You know, is that a design? What is that? What is that?
It's a design aesthetic, but
Sure.
for me, it connects. I love the fact that you use energy and a spiritual element to it. I usually say the pieces that I create, because I'm totally self-taught, there's no basis for me to draw from. I always come up with stuff that sometimes I do not understand.
Sure.
So I always look at it as just a spiritual experience. Me just receiving what I'm given by my ancestors or the people that existed for me to have this gift. So it's mostly that, but mostly celebrating what Africa is about and taking it to the future.
No, I can feel the spirituality in your work, and
Thank
I
you.
think it's absolutely beautiful. Looking at the future and what it holds, what can you share with us in that regard?
It's such an exciting time. I'm looking to expand the brand. I've been doing a lot of clothing, so I'm entering into the lifestyle space. Developing a few things which I can't really talk about at this point, but it's moving the brand to more than just being clothing, going into life just in general.
And if anybody wants to get either something made or just a piece that they saw and they're like, "Ooh, I like that,"
Yeah.
how do we go about doing this?
Cool. The best way is to just send an email, info@imprintza. That's basically where you're going to get all the info where we're stocking the stuff, because we're stocking at different stores in Joburg, Cape Town, and internationally.
Beautiful. I'm hearing Maps' voice on the other side. You need to go and grab a seat, brother.
The auction,
is starting,
Yeah.
and more people need to see that comment. Thank you so much.
Sure.
All the best of luck.
Thank you.
Nice one. And just as he walks off, we have to show you exactly what we mean when we talk about, his ability. And, we'll do that, of course, in just a moment. But I think we better cross over now to the auction room and see what's happening over there. Remember, keep sending us your comments. We'll read them.
Trying to move South Africa forward. And this is the beginning. Like I mentioned, it's a journey. So we really do want to look at this as an opportunity to back our amazing beneficiary of the Challenges Club for 2021. And we really hope that tonight you see this as something that we can do more of, especially being in the private sector. We do think there's an opportunity for us to start getting a bit more involved in causes that we believe in. And as individuals, we can. And we really believe that through what we put on display tonight, that we can hopefully back Barateng as much as possible. But beyond that, this, like I've mentioned, this is a journey. So phase one. But without further ado, I'd like to hand over to the gentleman who actually has the responsibility this evening. And a very warm welcome to somebody that you already know. So over to Maps to, guys, hopefully dig deep, like get into your pockets. Woo!
Just said you might, or you already know, and then she just said Maps. I'll kind of give a proper introduction for those who have absolutely no idea. My name is Maps Mapunyane, and I'm going to be your MC for this segment of the evening. I'm not sure if you remember that SABC One, well, not the ad, but the in between the different ads, you'd get that Santi for sure, AIA. So I was the guy who did the AIA. That's my claim to fame. So if my voice is familiar, that's where it comes from. But before we get started with the auction, I'd like us to all turn our attention to our AVs and our screens around us to remember exactly why we're all here tonight and what the purpose of this auction is.
Glenfiddich brings you the Challengers Club, a platform where mavericks share their stories of passion and purpose. This year, one of those mavericks will share her journey and long-lasting solution to localized digital education. Glenfiddich will then host an auction of some of their most rare expressions to raise funds in a quest to back that solution. South Africa has the highest percentage of mobile connections versus total population in the world, and yet only 8.1% of households speak English within the home.
And I think the society needs to shift and realize that we need to compete globally, and that we can only do by educating and opening opportunities to our people.
Meet Maratang Mia, tech entrepreneur and founder of Buza. Buza is a learning platform which will enable anyone to learn digital education content in their local languages or dialects.
There's two things happening in the education system.
Sure.
It's language, and also technology was beginning to pick up. And I chose to use technology to accelerate education. And I then decided with tech, once you know it, it just gives you that superpower.
That takes somewhat of an equalizer.
For me, it's an equalizer. And if you don't get it at the right time, you will never catch up. If I get a remote job, it's virtual. Nobody knows. It's because they know me with relations. But I can go online and just create a persona and work, and nobody will ever question me as long as I deliver. For me, it's one of the best equalizer I would ever find in this world.
Buza is designed to target anyone looking to learn new digital skills, which will enable them to access more opportunities in the global economy. We aim to engage non-English first language individuals in order to create more inclusion in the economy.
We are at a point in time in our lives where we cannot say we can't use computers or tech or anything. We are at a point in our life where we can't be debating whether it should be 5G or 4G or what. If we're not part of it, we're going to be excluded. It's how we get there that's important.
Buza will be providing global standard educational courses that not only reach the masses, but also open up boundless technological opportunities. Through our partnerships with Microsoft, Khan Academy, LinkedIn, Udemy, Adobe, and Coursera, users of Buza will be able to obtain globally recognized certifications in their chosen learning path. This is how we equip the next generation to forge their own path, but also be globally competitive. Where there are challenges, we see opportunities. Glenfiddich has sourced a range of the rarest expressions from around the world for your bidding pleasure. We will use the power of the collective to raise funds towards our quest to localize digital education.
So that's why we're here, to raise seed capital for the Buza app, and it is towards that quest to be able to localize the skills of this incredible app that it's offering, to be able to close that gap of unemployment that we have here in South Africa, and to be able to give opportunities to those who don't have English as a first language, but they have access to online material, but they're always left out, and they now have that opportunity through the Buza app. And I'd like to just kind of shed a spotlight on the lady behind it. We just saw her on the visuals, and I think we should give her a massive, massive round of applause. Paratang Mia, please may you stand up for us. If you'd like, in fact, we'd love for you, if you don't mind, Paratang. I know you said earlier that you're quite overwhelmed. If you can just come up and say just a couple words.
I'm gonna say what I told Mo. I can be very emotional sometimes. So for 18 years, I've been trying to get South Africans to love technology like I did when I touched it the first time. And it's been an alone journey. I've always felt alone, and I didn't mind. I don't really care whether people support me or not, because I believe in it so much. I will do it anyhow. And then Glenfiddich came into the picture. So in the beginning, I thought, oh yeah, okay, who cares? But because I'm used to people using us to get somewhere. So and then the past 6 months, I learned that they are about passion. Jesse, I hope I'm saying it right. Jess says it all the time that Glenfiddich is about passion and innovation. It's not just a malt whiskey. I listen. So I think that's where we met. I've learned so many things for 6 months. I have Kelly's on my WhatsApp. I can ask her anything I want. To get to Buza to be shaped the way it does, from me speaking for a certain group of the society, a certain demographic of people, to speaking to South Africans as a whole, it was a journey, and it was a journey that everybody who was working with got involved in. And so I said to a friend earlier on that it's quite funny that I don't see Glenfiddich alcohol. I see the values and the brand. And thanks for everything.
Thank you very much. You can see just how much it means to Paratang and how much something like this could make a massive difference to an entrepreneur who's passionate about what she does, but then how many lives will be impacted as a result. So, as you know, Glenfiddich, which you would have heard on the presentation, is exactly how you pronounce it. Glenfiddich, for those who just discovered alcohol, Glenfiddich, but it's definitely Glenfiddich, has innovation at its core. The brand has depth and width in its range, and you can get a 12-year-old all the way up to a 50-year-old. And for the Challengers Club Auction 2021, they've managed to source incredible bottles and bring expressions from all over the world to shores, to shores in SA. We have 13 lots on auction tonight. There are a couple others that I'll touch on later, which have been added to the auction, which is going to be quite exciting that everyone else can get involved in. And the starting bids at retail value for some of them, many of them are exclusive, however. They won't be able to be accessed in the country, or many of them at all are not produced anymore, and they're no longer available anywhere at all. So we're here today to appeal to each and every one of you to please dig deep. We're trying to raise seed capital for a phenomenal entrepreneurial venture that can make a massive difference in the country. And we are starting tonight's proceedings, or tonight's auction, with our first one. And I can see there's a lot of people already kind of getting ready. We're looking at people just checking if their numbers. You can't bid before we start, sir, sorry. And when you do that, I will take that as a bid. And if you show me the deer, it doesn't help. I need to see the number. I can see Tuso's getting ready. He is a lover of Glenfiddich. I can see Vinny's getting excited. I'm going to touch on you a little bit later, a few of you around here. There's some keen collectors. Andrew's got a wry smile on his face over there. Going to be keeping an eye on you too. And I think we're going to spend about 5 minutes on each one, or however long it is required to be able to raise the money that we need to. And we're going to start off with the Project 20. You would have seen the bottle, Project XX, the Project 20. It's been put together by 20 whiskey experts from around the world, to which one of them is our very own Jez Divini, the national brand ambassador for Glenfiddich, the connoisseur, ladies and gentlemen. I know you want to stand up. I know you want to stand up. No one who wears sunglasses at night who doesn't want to stand up. And there are just some incredible people who are part of this. They're experts. They know what they're doing. It's an incredible liquid that is in that bottle. And in front of the bottle, you'll see is his very own fingerprint. Please sit. Please, I knew you were going to sit there. So for a little bit extra detail, this is non-chill filtered and at cask strength. And we're going to start the bidding for the Project 20 at 2,000 Rand. We have a bidding here, number 18, 2,000 Rand. Okay, let's go to 2,500 Rand. We have still, everyone's got their numbers up. Okay, 3,000 Rand. 50 and 38 is still up. 3,500 Rand. 4,000 Rand. We've got two bidders there. The 8 and 39. 5,000 Rand. Number 58, 5,500 Rand. It seems to be 58 and 41 battling out. 5,500 Rand. 6,000 Rand. Got a bid at the back there. 6,500 Rand. Number 40, 7,000 Rand. 41 and 58 back at it again. 7,500 Rand. 8,000 Rand. Okay, we're going to go straight to 10,000 Rand. Have we got any bids for 10,000 Rand for the Project 20 bottle? Number 58 is still up. 10,500 Rand from anyone? Going once? Going twice? And the Project 20 for 10,000 Rand going to number 58. I knew you were a good person when you asked me for a selfie earlier. Thank you. Next, we have the Glenfiddich IPA. This is the first expression in the experimental series. It's an innovation where Glenfiddich partnered with Speyside Breweries to create an expression finish in an IPA cask. So whiskey essentially then meets beer. And we're opening this auction item up at 3,000 Rand. I need to see your number, sorry. 3,000 Rand, anyone want to challenge him? I'm going to go up in increments of the tenths of the number. So 3,300 Rand for anyone? Challenging that? 3,300 Rand? 3,600 Rand? Okay, we'll go straight to 4,000 Rand. 4,500 Rand. 4,200 Rand. Okay, 39 back up, 4,200 Rand. Anyone wanting to challenge? 4,500 Rand again? You challenging yourself, sir? Is that what you're doing? Okay. 5,000 Rand, number 41. Are you 5,000 Rand? We have a bid for 5,000 Rand on the left side of the room. 5,500 Rand. 39, challenging you again. 6,000 Rand. 42, out of nowhere, fantastic. 6,500 Rand. Number 42, I love the way you think. Usually you go in when it's still like a lot cheaper, but you went for when it was right at the top. That's fantastic. 6,500 Rand. 39, 7,500 Rand. Anyone willing to challenge number 39? 7,500 Rand. Number 41, 8,000 Rand. 8,000 Rand for the Glenfiddich IPA. So we're still at 7,500 Rand with number 41. 7,500 Rand going once. Oh, 49 going for an 8,000 Rand bid. 8,500 Rand. Still number 49. 8,500 Rand going once. 8,500 Rand going twice. Sold to number 49. Our next lot is lot number 3, Glenfiddich Fire and Cane Experimental Series number 4. It is rare to hear of a peated Glenfiddich, but this 4th and last edition of the experimental series broke those boundaries. In addition, it has been finished in a rum cask to give it a sweet and smoky character. This expression has never reached South Africa. It is a great collectible. I know we have a lot of collectors here. I can see Tuso's rubbing his hands already. Matthew with the sunglasses at the back is also quite interested. All right. Well, this one is starting at 2,800 Rand. All right, a bunch of numbers up there. So we'll go straight to 4,000 Rand. Des is getting involved. 5,000 Rand. Any bids for 5,000 Rand? Okay. Any bids for 5,500 Rand? Okay. Any bids for 6,000 Rand? There's a bid at the back there from Vinny. Any bids for 6,500 Rand? 7,000 Rand. 7,000. I need to see your number. Sorry. 7,500 Rand. Bids for 7,500 Rand. The back there. Thank you, ma'am. 8,000 Rand. 39. 8,500 Rand. The back 61 again. 9,000 Rand. All right, so this one we can jump straight to 10,000 Rand. Bids at the back, 10,500 Rand. And now we'll go up in increments of 1,000, 11,000 Rand. 12,000 Rand. So we still have a bid here from number 14 for 11,000 Rand. Anyone for 12,000 Rand for that Glenfiddich Fire and Cane Experimental Series number 4? 11,000 Rand. It was between 66 there and 43 as well. 13,000 Rand. All right, 13,000 Rand going over there. 14,000 Rand anywhere else in the room. 14,000 Rand to number 39. 15,000 Rand to 43. So if you scratch your head with your board, I will take that as a bid. Number 20. You're on your phone. Tuso. Omofonu. What? Tuso, can you speak to your... But he can't... If he checks with the wife while he's scratching his head, it's already approved. All right, so back to that. So we are sitting at 14,000 Rand. 15,000 Rand. Are there any bids for 15,000 Rand for the experimental? Number 35. 16,000 Rand for the experimental. Vinny, you both went up there, so I'm not sure if you're still in that. For 15,000 Rand. 16,000 Rand. There we go. 17,000 Rand. We're still at 16,000 Rand. Anyone willing to challenge Vinny, number 66? 16,000 Rand going once. 16,000 Rand going twice. It's a collectible. Oh, there we go. So 17,000 Rand from number 42. 18,000 Rand. Vinny, are you willing to challenge for your collectible bottle? Vinny is shaking his head. Finance denied. 19,000 Rand. So we still have 18,000 Rand. So can you put your number back up again just to make sure? A little bit higher. There we go. With pride. There we go. 42. All right. Going once, going twice, and sold for 17,000 Rand to Mr. 42. All right, so it continues to get exciting. One of the most iconic collaborations in the US. This 14-year-old is only available in the US, officially known as the 14-year-old Bourbon Barrel Reserve. It is aged for a full 14 years in typical ex-bourbon casks used in the Scotch industry, I beg your pardon. It's then transferred to be finished in a new heavily charred American oak barrels from Louisville's prominent Calvin cooperage. It's a definite first and a must-have. And I heard someone say, please start at 2,000. You still need to, increase it. So even if we started there, you still won't be able to. Sorry, sir. So we are going to be starting this one at 6,000 Rand. The Glenfiddich 14-year-old Bourbon Barrel Reserve, 6,000 Rand. All right, so we have a lot of numbers there, so we'll jump straight up to 7,000 Rand, 8,000 Rand, 9,000 Rand, 10,000 Rand, two saw, 11,000 Rand, 61 at the back, 12,000 Rand. I need to see your number again, I'm so sorry. 20,000, 12,000, 12,000 Rand, 13,000 Rand. 13,000 Rand, it's still 13,000 Rand there, number 41. 14,000 Rand, 42, is that you? 15,000 Rand to 39, can I give that to you, sir? 15,000 Rand, your bid? Okay, 14,000 is still at 14,000. 15,000 for that, anyone? 15,000 for the bourbon, 15,000 for the Bourbon Barrel Reserve. We got a 15,000 bid there. 16,000 Rand anywhere in the room. Only available in the US, and there are very few that are available. 15,000 Rand going once. Anyone willing to bid for 16,000 Rand? There we go. 61. 71,000 Rand. 17,000 Rand. Anyone willing to challenge a 16,000 Rand bid for 17,000 Rand? Can I get 17,000 anywhere? 16,000 going once. 16,000 going twice. 16,000 Rand, number 61.
I'm willing to another one.
Okay. So Jez says he's willing to auction up his 14 that he has as well. So if whoever bidded Jez, I mean, you're having a bit of pushback there. All right, so are we going to, Jez, would you like to do that? Lutando, are you happy with that? So another 14-year-old, we just sold that one for 16,000. So we'll start from 16. So we'll start from, no, absolutely. We're definitely going to start at the same price. Another 16,000 for anyone else that is wanting that barrel reserve, that Bourbon Barrel Reserve 14-year-old. Anyone else that is after that collectible? Jez will be keeping it. All right, fantastic. All right. Moving on to number 5, Glenfiddich Malt Liqueur. This is a really rare find. It was produced in the early 2000s, and it was produced to disrupt the market, and it is no longer available anywhere in the world. And this is going to be starting at 8,000 Rand. Any bidders for 8,000 Rand? 9,000 Rand. All right, straight to 10,000, 33, 35, 11,000 Rand. Number 42, 12,000 Rand. Can I get a 12,000 Rand? 12,000 Rand. Number 68. Can I get a 13,000 Rand? 13, 14,000 Rand. Challenging number 35. I need to see your number again. I'm so sorry. I know it by now. It's 19. If I ask, it's 19. It's 19 if anyone asks, it's 19. 14,000 Rand. 14,000 Rand for the malt liqueur. There we go. 14,000 Rand. 15,000 Rand. A bit at the back there. Vinny, 15,000 Rand. 16,000 Rand. 16,000 Rand, number 35. 17,000 Rand. 17,000 Rand anywhere in the room. We still have a bid there. 16,000 Rand from number 35. 17,000 Rand. 16,000 Rand going once. 17,000 Rand from Mhleli, who actually flew in all the way from Durban for this auction. He's a great collector, so round of applause for coming all the way. Waiting for that to come up. We're at 17,000 Rand with Mhleli. So may I see your number again, just to make sure? Number 13, Mhleli number 13, 17,000 Rand for that malt liqueur, Glenfiddich malt liqueur. 18,000 Rand there, number 43. Can I get a 19,000 Rand? Would you challenge him, Mhleli, by any chance? 19,000 Rand. 20,000 Rand. 43, challenging at 20,000 Rand. 21,000 Rand. 21,000 Rand from Mhleli. 22,000 Rand. He's keeping his number up permanently. Okay. 23,000 Rand. 24,000 Rand. So, you know, if you don't move it down, I can just keep going up. Okay, cool. So 23,000 Rand we're at right now. 24,000 Rand. 24,000 Rand for that Glenfiddich malt liqueur. 24,000 Rand from number 41. 25,000 Rand. Anyone in the room? Derek, I can see you keen on this one, Derek. 24,000 Rand. 24,000 Rand going once. Can I get a bid for 25,000 Rand against it? Just want to confirm the number. Was that number 41? Can I get the number up for the last bid for 24,000 Rand? Was that you, Derek? 41. All right. Going twice. Sold for 24,000 Rand to number 41. Fantastic. Okay. A 1980s, well, first let me tell you what it is. It's a Glenfiddich Pure Malt Special Old Reserve Bot 1980s. A 1980s release of Glenfiddich's No Age Statement, not to be confused with Jazz Divine, pure malt single malt whiskey. It was originally produced for the Greek market, and this bottle dates from the 1980s and is no longer available anywhere in the world. It's an absolute rare find, and we're going to be starting the bidding for this one at 10,000 Rand. Your reference will always be on the screen. Bidding starting at 10,000 Rand for this Glenfiddich Pure Malt Special Old Reserve bottled in the 1980s. Number 14, there we go, 10,000. 11,000 Rand. 12,000 Rand at the back there. 13,000 Rand. Number 38, 14,000 Rand. 15,000 Rand. Number 42, 16,000 Rand anywhere. 16,000 Rand, 38, 17,000 Rand with 14, 18,000 Rand. Is there 18,000 Rand in the room to challenge us? 18,000 Rand, 42. 19,000 Rand, are you going to go for 19,000 Rand there? Number 56, you've got it halfway up. I can't, half the price. Okay, there we go. 19,000 Rand, we're still at 19,000 Rand, or still 18,000 Rand, I beg your pardon. Anyone bidding for 19,000 Rand? 19,000 Rand. Vinny at the back, number 66. 20,000 Rand. 20,000 Rand, 30. So I'm not even going to ask. All right. So 20,000 Rand, 21,000 Rand, 22,000 Rand, sir. Number 39. No, 22,000 Rand. 21's your cap. 21,000 Rand. 21,000 Rand still there. 22,000 Rand. No one's challenging 22,000 Rand. 22,000 Rand at the back there. 23,000 Rand. We still have it at 22,000 Rand. 23,000 Rand for this absolutely rare bottle. Only created for the Greek market in the 1980s. Won't be found anywhere else. This is shout out random Greek surnames. Fantastic. Papadopoulos, yes. 22,000 Rand, still going with number 14. 23,000 Rand, number 49. 24,000 Rand, anywhere else in the room to challenge number 49? Madam, can we get you the bid back? She's shaking her head. Quite disappointed in that one. 24,000 Rand. Number 49, still at 23,000 Rand. Anyone willing to challenge number 49 at 24,000 Rand at the back? Number 66, 25,000 Rand. 49? Is that a no? Number 49? 25,000 Rand for your bid? It's going for 25,000 Rand, 49. Vinny, 26,000 Rand. Or you willing to challenge? 26,000 Rand. 27,000 Rand. 27,000 Rand anywhere in the room. Lutando getting some consulting there. I promise it's worth it. I promise. 26,000 Rand going once. 26,000 Rand going twice. Just want to get confirmation of the final bid. 27,000 Rand. There we go. Anyone willing to challenge for 28,000 Rand? Vinny dropping his head against the shoulder of anyone who's willing to, to hold it. 28,000 Rand. Vinny, if you're willing to challenge, 28,000 Rand. Otherwise, going for 27,000 Rand. Going once, going twice. Sold, number 49. All right, now we move on to lot number 7. Glenfiddich 18-year-old black decanter. I love this bottle. It is a really, really beautiful find. Black decanter, ancient reserve, 740 ml. Now, this is a really, really rare find, and it's hard to find. That is what rare means, obviously. So, a really rare, hard to find bottle. 18-year-old Glenfiddich, packaged in a limited edition decanter from the 1980s. A Glenfiddich that scores with an impressive smoothness rather than complexity. The smoky hints tell you it is not a modern malt. And the bidding for this one will be commencing at 15,000 Rand. 15,000 Rand from number 68. 16,000 Rand. Okay, we're going to go straight to 20,000 Rand. 20,000 Rand, number 56. 22,000 Rand. 22,000 Rand, number 14. 24,000 Rand. Still at 22,000 Rand. 24,000 Rand. Vinny back at it again. Still hasn't managed to grab him. Back at it again. Love the persistence. 26,000 Rand. 26,000 Rand anywhere in the room. Still at 24,000 Rand with number 66. 26,000 Rand. 26,000 Rand, clearly number 13. 26,000 Rand, 28,000 Rand. Can I get a 28,000 Rand? 28,000 Rand, clearly? She's at 26. She's at 26. So 28 for you. 28,000 Rand. Well, we're going up in twos. 30,000 Rand for this bottle. 30,000 Rand. 30,000 Rand. Clearly just said, I love this one. I have to have it. So it's still at 28,000 Rand with you. 30,000 Rand. 30,000 Rand for any takers willing to challenge that bid of 28,000 Rand. 28,000 Rand going once. 28,000 Rand going twice. Sold. Number 13. Thank you very much. All right, up next, lot number 8. The Glenfiddich 19-year-old Age of Discovery red wine. The Age of Discovery is a discontinued... Can you hear me at the back? Okay, great, because I can hear you too. All right. The Age of Discovery is a discontinued series released in 2011. This red wine cask finish is one of 3 rare finds. Matured for 19 years and finished in South American red wine cask, it's a rich, warm, and spicy whiskey. And the bidding for this one will also be commencing at 15,000 Rand. All right, first bids for 15,000 Rand. Number 14. 16,000 Rand. 17,000 Rand. Anyone challenging? 17,000 Rand. 18,000 Rand, sir. Number 40, 18,000 Rand. 19,000 Rand, challenging that bid. 19,000 Rand. Love the look of your number. 20,000 Rand. 20,000 Rand, number 14. 22,000 Rand. 22,000 Rand. Challenging that 20,000 Rand bid from number 4. 22,000 Rand, number 39. 24,000 Rand. 24,000 Rand, number 14. 26,000 Rand, anyone in the room? Will you be challenging her again, sir? Number 39, yes. 26,000 Rand. 28,000 Rand. Anyone bidding for 28,000 Rand to challenge that 26,000 Rand bid? Beautiful bottle. Glenfiddich red wine. You won't find it anywhere. Finished in South American red wine casks. Region of incredible red wine. 28,000 Rand. 28,000 Rand. Willing to take on number 39's bid of 26,000 Rand. 28,000 Rand going once. Sorry, beg your pardon. 26,000 Rand going once. Still looking for that 28,000 Rand bid. 26,000 Rand going twice. Sold to number 39. Our next bottle is the Glenfiddich Winter Storm 21-year-old. You know, it's winter is coming. Our third experiment saw Glenfiddich 21-year-old finished in French oak ice wine cask from Canada. The heightened candied sweets and oakiness of Glenfiddich are complemented by mouth-watering tropical fruit notes and a luscious sweetness from the unique ice wine cask finish. And we'll be starting this one at 16,000 Rand. Obviously a very rare find. All the numbers going up. We're going to go straight to 20,000 Rand. Any bids for 20,000 Rand? 22,000 Rand. Hands still up. 25,000 Rand. 25,000 Rand, number 19. 27,000 Rand, sir, number 43. 27,000 Rand over there, 68. 29,000 Rand. Any bids for 29,000 Rand? We still have a 27,000 Rand. 29,000 Rand, willing to take that one on. Winter Storm, rare bottle, there we go. 29,000 Rand. 31,000 Rand from anyone. 31,000 Rand. 31,000. So your number is up. You can't fan yourself. 31,000 Rand. 31,000 Rand. People kindly volunteering each other. Tuso, you're not going to agree to that? No? We still have the bid at 29,000 Rand. Number 42, is your number up there? Oh, okay. It's a very costly scratch, that. 29,000 Rand going once. Anyone willing to challenge that for 31,000 Rand for the Winter Storm? 31,000 Rand. So can you ask him to keep his number down? There we go. 29,000 Rand going twice. Can I get that number again? Is it number 68 that went for that bid? At the back, the 29,000 Rand bid. Get your number, 56. And that's it. Sold to number 56 for 29,000. Cool, perfect. All right, so I'm going to give everyone a little bit of a quick 10-minute break. You can quickly get some refreshments, check your bank accounts, and then come back and have a clear idea of exactly what your intention is. All right, we'll resume in 15 minutes. Thank you very much.
Wow, what an incredible evening it's turning out to be. It is the Glenfiddich Challengers Club auction. It is a big auction night, and it's all about raising the moolah, the cash, the funds to bring Buza to life. The idea that Baratang put together in collaboration with many other great thinkers to really deal with what she feels is a big challenge, and to try and deal with this issue of, the digitizing of education. So far it's been a great night. Maps Maponyane, you're doing a fantastic job in that auction room, and I can tell you some big spenders have come through tonight. So, of course, what is an auction? Some of Glenfiddich's rare expressions. 21-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 19-year-olds, they're all in there. Rare expressions, very few of them, some. You can't find them anywhere in the world, and they're right here tonight. And we've had some big bucks flowing through. But the night is not over. The auction is going to continue in just a second, and I see There are some comments already coming through. Kelly says, so excited for the auction. It's an amazing cause. I totally agree. Des says, I see an opportunity here for me to partner with Baratang. Great idea, but I'm still struggling to understand how she will monetize this. And I guess, you know, following the story of Baratang with Buza and Glenfiddich, I think we should be able to get a pretty good idea of that aspect of it. A lot of the times it's really about how you keep, you know, some of these apps alive, and how do you make money, and how do you sustain it? So it's a very good question. But of course, there'll be an answer to that, absolutely, no doubt. More comments coming through. Another one, 10,000 Rand, well done. And I think that's just some of the bidding amounts that have come through there. Yeah, man. So it's a very good night so far. And I've got to say, the ladies and gentlemen in that auction room are not here to play games. Of course, it's all about making sure that we bring this fantastic idea to life. So, one man who's been taking care of business for us is Maps. He's about to speak to me in just a moment. I don't know if he's wearing anything that is a lucky hat, a lucky shoe, a lucky jacket, but he's got a big task tonight. Maps, good evening.
Good evening, good evening.
You're doing a fabulous job.
Thank you so much, my brother. It's been quite a night.
It has. I mean, take us through what's been happening so far, and what your experience of the auction night has been.
So far we've been managing to auction 13 great lots of rare finds of Glenfiddich whiskey.
Yeah.
And people have really been getting involved. It's all in aid of a great cause. The seed capital that we're trying to raise for the Buza app, which is doing phenomenal work to ensure that they're able to give skills development possibilities and access through their phones by giving them material that they can consume anywhere from their homes and get a upskill themselves, but also in their home language, in their mother tongue. So many people are left out of the conversation, are left out of opportunities because they don't speak English and it's not their first language. So those non-English first language speaking South Africans now can get that second chance or other opportunity to be able to upskill themselves to have a better chance at employment, a big issue that we have. And when you're able to have an event like this where you raise funds for something such as that, one of the best things about being an entrepreneur in this way, or being a part of things such as this, is that you're able to be a part of the solution of a very big South African problem.
I totally agree, and we'll come to your entrepreneurial spirit in a moment. Who's in that room? Because I love the fact that you bring up the cause, but there are some serious collectors in there, people who believe in collecting whiskey.
Yeah, so there's a lot of big whiskey lovers and collectors in there. Some people who have about 40 different rare kinds of Glenfiddich. They go around trying to find the rarest bottles. Many who are here trying to find which ones they don't have in their collection. And it's so fascinating, you know, we're doing this bidding, and you know, I mentioned that you can only find this one in this country, or you can only find it in that country, or there isn't any more produced, and you hear someone say, "Ooh, I don't have that one. That's the one I want." And this bidding just happens, this bidding war, back and forth. And then someone just get tapped on the shoulder saying, "Hey, we don't have any more to be able to bid. Please, otherwise, how are we going to get?"
Exactly.
You know, it becomes serious. And
I love that.
And it's amazing that people are willing to dig deep in their pockets and firstly follow their passion of collecting great quality whiskey and have an amazing collection, but also to be able to do that and know that it's going to a great cause. What more would you want? I mean, you're donating to a great cause while you're being able to add to your enjoyment of a wonderful product.
I totally agree, and I think it's proving to be an excellent sport tonight. So your entrepreneurial experience, I mean, is well documented with some of the businesses that you ventured into. Tell us about how that's been for you, what you've learned, and how this entire sort of, you know, Challengers Club, which I know you've been a part of, you know, just, you know, stepping in now and then, how that sort of speaks to you as well with everything that you've experienced as an entrepreneur.
So what I love about the Challengers Club is that there's a lot of like-minded people, great thinkers, people who have that entrepreneurial spirit, who are industry leaders, who are doing incredible things for themselves to ensure that they are being able to create some sort of innovation or create some sort of impact that is actually beneficial not only to themselves but to society as a whole. And firstly, I've been an entrepreneur for as long as I can remember. I remember that the first contract I drew up, I was 7 years old.
Wow.
And that kind of came from my parents when I was, growing up we would go to, Kori Shopong, and you go to the shops and you want to try grab the sweets or the chips, and they'd say no to everything. And I'd say, why? And then they'd say, if you're making your own money, if you're paying with your own money, then you can. And I remember always thinking, I'd go to sleep that day thinking, how do I make my own money?
Yeah.
And when I was 7 years old, when I first ever saw what a contract was, I got home and I wrote 3 or 4 lines saying, if I do this and this and this and this at home, if I help clean the house, do all the chores, wash the car, do the extra, whatever it took, they had to pay me 2 rand a week. And my parents paid me 2 rand a week, and that would go into my piggy bank. And I started saving. I used to actually want to take that money and use it immediately, and my mom would say, no, put it in your piggy bank. You save it. Put it in this bottle. I say piggy bank was a 2-liter bottle, just trying to raise.
That's all we had.
Exactly, that's all we had. And from doing that, I was able to buy a bicycle. About a year later, I was 8 years old.
That's great.
And I remember I managed to, raise about, I think it was about 450 rand at the time, which was, was
a lot of money.
It's a lot of chores.
Yeah.
A lot of money too. And then I was like, this is incredible. If you use your money well and you save it well and actually build for greater things, you can actually always add on to something else. Now I've got a bicycle where I could think of another business to transport whatever I want to do. And then that built onto other things. And through varsity school, I used to sell marbles. You play for marbles, you win those marbles, you sell them back to the people you just won them from. I used to sell popcorn in school. I would sell paper wallets in varsity, different things where I could raise my own capital for business ideas that I had. And then eventually, getting into entertainment industry, starting a couple different businesses, managed to get into tech. I've been in the kind of tech world for about 10 years now. I have a app development company, machine learning and artificial intelligence as well. And also get into the food entrepreneurial space recently with Buns Out. Being able to invest in different great, young businesses, startups and all of that has really opened my mind to just how incredible the potential that we have here is, but how difficult that world of entrepreneurship is, but how life-giving it is, but also how much of a privilege it is to be able to start businesses that are able to provide employment. And once again, by doing that, we're all then, as a result, able to be a part of that solution.
That's the thing, and it's about changing your material conditions. And I think tech has done a great job of that, giving us so much opportunity in the form of apps and bringing people together. So great story. Thank you, Maps. I know you got to run back.
Yep. Need to go make us some money, man.
There's more money to be made tonight. I've got a good hunch about what's going on in there. I'm hearing big amounts, and I think it's going to get bigger.
I was actually wondering right now. I remember you saying you were going to be bidding. I haven't seen a single bid. Whatever he's selling to you, don't believe it.
Somebody took my seat.
My brother, let me get back to my job.
Maps,
Thank you so much.
Love your work, bro.
Cheers.
You go get that money. And it's about bringing these fantastic ideas to life. And that's what we're doing here. Buza, that is the app. And whatever you want to know, whatever comments you have, you can send it through. I will be reading it out. And of course, we are live at the Glenfiddich Challengers Club auction. The culmination of what has been the Glenfiddich Challengers Club 2.0. Great minds coming together, game changers, pioneers, mavericks, really just coming together. And Baratang is a classic case of that. All right, we're going to head back into the auction room, see what action is going down there. How much are we going to be looking at by the end of the night? Well, let's find out. Well, a Glenfiddich event is always star-studded, and joining me now is an individual who's been an absolute inspiration to millions of people through his sheer talent and the things he says, the words of motivation on the platforms he happens to sit on at any given moment. He's a man of great talent. Aron Muluis, good evening.
Good evening to you, sir.
You're looking great, by the way, but this
Thank
is
you very
standard
much.
for you.
I took a shower today. today.
No, one thing I know about you, and every time you come out to, Glenfiddich events, is that you do not miss a beat, you don't miss a mark, you're on point.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Tonight is a special night because there's an incredible woman, Baratang, who came up with this idea, and she's really passionate about digitizing, education. And one of her biggest things is around language
Yeah.
and the languages that we learn things in.
Yeah.
Yes, there's language in tech, but there's also the language you speak and that information and what language that's given out in. You're big on language as well. You and our president are probably the only two people I know who probably speak all 11 languages.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you say to that, and what has been your experience in that regard when you think of language education and the importance of that coming together?
You know what? For many years, I wondered why I've got such an affinity to languages. And now actually I've crossed even our borders. I'm at number 13 and a half languages.
Wow.
That I'm speaking at the moment.
Wow.
Until I got to an understanding that when you speak to somebody in their language, you hit the core of who they are.
True.
Message is not lost in translation. When you speak to somebody in their language, you speak to their spirit. You know, we always say that when you meet people, they remember how you made them feel, as opposed to what you said to them.
Sure.
When I meet you in a room and allow you to express yourself in the language that you got from your parents, you will remember that moment. So I'm very big on languages. Baratang Mia, with what she's doing with the Buza app, is something that I'm excited about. Education is something that's very deep in my heart. And to be able to take technology and digitization of information and education to reach the outskirts, that is groundbreaking for me.
Absolutely.
It's groundbreaking for me.
And I know in your experience, just through television alone, you've sat on many platforms that speak to that education, access to it, communities that have been marginalized, rural communities, people back home, etc.
Yeah.
When you look at all the issues that you've heard about from all those communities over the years, has anything changed? Has anything changed to then and now? What do you think they are, those issues?
Well, for many years, one of the biggest issues has been access to information, and that has just been the basics of access to technology. Media, we've managed to get to some of the places, but at the same time, like I said, if you do not speak the language of the people, a lot is lost in translation. So I'm excited that a lot of programming, a lot of, whether it's on the web or is on television, they're making an effort to generate content in the languages that people speak, which is one of the reasons why I even chose to be in media. In 2002, when I chose to be on television, my main aim was to be on television and to speak to a rural girl and a rural boy in the language they understand.
Sure.
Because I used to pay to watch television. I did not understand what they were saying. So I wanted, for the first time, they sit and they watch television and they see somebody who looks like them, somebody who sounds like them, but somebody who makes sense to them.
Sure.
Somebody they can look at and say, now I understand that somebody is out there,
Sure.
hears me and sees me.
That's such a beautiful thing. And I mean, tonight, this place is full of very inspirational people.
Yeah.
People who are great motivators like yourself. But what motivates you? What keeps you going?
Sure. Now I feel like I'm in an interview. I think you came in for a
We're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Before you go back in there, we want to see you bidding as well. Yeah.
Well, actually, I can tell about my bidding.
Oh, yes?
I'll come to that
Yeah.
now. What motivates me is when I see others allowing others light shine.
Yeah.
If you're doing well
Yeah.
and you're getting all the glory, you're doing well, you're comfortable. If you can allow your light to spark the light in others,
Sure.
that is what motivates me.
Beautiful.
You know, a lot of people, we misunderstand this whole concept of saying, if you share in your success, you share in your trade, you share in your UIP, you know, you share in what makes you strength. People get threatened. They're thinking, I mustn't reveal my secrets of the trade.
Yeah.
The more you help other people, the more you get enriched. When you light other people's lights, your light gets brighter. So I get motivated by seeing a group of people like this tonight getting together to say, listen, let's chip deeper into our pockets to enable others to be better people.
Sure.
That's what motivates me.
I love that. And I
Yeah.
love the fact that you brought the richness, because there's wealth in that
Yeah.
when you do that. So tell us about your bidding.
All right. I still know my bidding number 49. So I bid the second bottle, the IPA,
Yes,
which
yes.
apparently everybody's eyeing for.
Yes, the
So,
Indian Pale Ale.
Aha.
Finished, I think, in a beer. It's got a beerish finish, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, now you're speaking German. I'm not that deep.
You'll find out.
So I was happy that I was able to snatch that, but I also proudly snatched the German one.
Wow.
The German, which I hear it's still not in the country yet.
Sure.
And it's the only one left in the world. So, hey.
Nice one. So this means you're going to learn German as well, because you are...
Look, I'm not far from German. Because I mean, a lot of German. I think in varsity I had a friend who was speaking Deutsch, and it was very close to Afrikaans. So, what's the ferni? What's the baie fer?
I don't want to waste your time, brother. Go back inside. I can hear Maps is calling everybody back to their seats.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You're an absolute inspiration. You are top class in your game. You're actually a GOAT, and I hope you know that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks to you, the likes of you. I mean, we listen to you every morning.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know,
I must invite you on my radio show.
I think you should.
I will. I
Thank
will.
you. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you.
Go have some fun, man. We'll catch up in just a moment. So, yeah, absolutely incredible people joining us here tonight. And as you heard, important work is being done here tonight. And at the end of it all, we'll look back and we'll have something to be proud of. And I love the fact that Glenfiddich is not in it for the moment, but it's a journey. And the Challengers Club has been a journey. Starting off with a bunch of like-minded people, talking about what it is that motivates them, what their purpose is. And now look today, we have a whole idea that we can all put our hands in and say we were part of that. I think it's absolutely special. Carry on sending your comments. I see more comments coming through. A big shout out to Mr. Aaron.
All right, I think I can get started. There are a couple keen bidders who were here who've disappeared. Bidding before we've started. All right. I think we're going to start off now. Wait, actually, before we get into that, just so everyone knows, if you have made your bid, Zianda will be coming to you at the end of the proceedings with your number attached, of course, to the bid that you made. And we will be taking you to a room for an experience. It's not what it sounds like. We just are getting the payment that we need. We'll be facilitating the payment for it. And just so you know, then we'll be giving you your bottles in their packaging so that you can walk away with them tonight. All right, so starting off with the Glenfiddich 21-year-old Lunar New Year 2021. Now that is quite beautiful in design. This 21-year-old is a Chinese exclusive, unavailable in any other market. It is a unique, one-of-a-kind expression which we took a great deal to bring to South Africa. I personally took a great deal to bring it to South Africa. This brilliant limited edition Glenfiddich 21-year-old was released to celebrate the Lunar New Year for 2021. It comes in a beautiful multicolored box that features a Scottish stag standing proudly on the front, and it's an excellent limited edition for whiskey lovers. And this is going to be starting at 20,000 Rand. We have a bid, number 68, 20,000 Rand. 22,000 Rand. Anyone challenging him at 22,000 Rand? Challenging number 68 at 22,000 Rand. I need to see your number, but I know it's number 14. 22,000 Rand. 24,000 Rand. Can I get a 24,000 Rand? 24,000 Rand for this exceptionally limited bottle. 24,000 Rand. 24,000 rand to challenge the 22,000 rand of number 14, who is successful, or not successful. We bidded a few times, but hasn't been successful just yet. 24,000 rand. There we go. I don't think it works like that, sir. 24,000 rand. 24,000 rand. We've got a 22,000 rand. Anyone willing to challenge a 24,000 rand? All right, now it can work like that. 23,000 rand, great. 24,000 rand. 24,000 rand for number 39. 26,000 rand, anyone in the room? 26,000 rand for the Lunar exclusive Chinese bottle. 21-year-old Lunar New Year. We're still at 24,000 rand over here. Number 39, I think it was. Still at 24,000 rand. 26,000 rand from anyone? 24,000 rand going once. Number 14 getting consulting there. 24,000 rand going twice. Sold to number 39. 24,000 rand. I think it was 24,000 rand. Perfect. Thank you very much. Another thing that just happened while we did break away for a little bit, we did have someone, number 68, who took that other 14-year-old for exactly the same price as the bidder. So we can also add that as well to the money that has been raised. So thank you very much, Gino. I think that's worthy of a round of applause as well. Thank you. And now moving on to number 11, lot number 11, the 30-year-old. All right, Melvin, are you ready? Mhleli? Derek? Yeah, all right. One of Glenfiddich's most lauded whiskies, the 30-year-old. It has won consecutive awards at international awards, a selection of both Spanish Oloroso and American bourbon casks, long aged and married to show both the quality of the oak and the character of Glenfiddich's soft and fruity spirits. A whiskey that every Glenfiddich fan should try and own at least once. At least once. All right, so the hands are up already. And this one is going to be starting, how apt for for the 30-year-old, at 30,000 rand. Number 41, 42, right next to each other. It's going to be a little battle. And 43 also. 33,000 rand, going increments of 3,000. 33,000 rand, number 41. 36,000 rand, yes, number 43. 39,000 rand, number 41. No, 43 still at 36,000 rand. Anyone for 39,000 rand? 39,000 rand for the 30-year-old. Anyone willing to challenge 39,000 rand for the 30-year-old? It's still at 36,000 rand. All right, we can bring that down to 38,000 rand. Anyone willing to challenge number 43 at 38,000 rand? 38,000 rand. Melvin, not interested. Okay. Derek, you're just looking across there. You're not. All right. $38,000 rand. Still at 43 for 36,000 rand. 36,000 rand going twice. All right, there we go. Number 43 gets it for 36,000 rand. All right, now on to the big one. A very limited release of just 600 bottles globally. Each bottle is numbered individually and wrapped in a hand-stitched calf leather, in enhances calf leather. It is accompanied by a leather-bound book telling its 40-year-old story with certification hand-signed by our longest-serving craftsman. There are only 600 that were produced, And it's in a hand stitch wrapped box or leather encasing, definitely not box, a leather encasing. And the number of this bottle of the 600 will only be seen by the person who buys it. So make that bid if you're the curious type. And this obviously is a massively rare bottle, and it's a 40-year-old. And this is starting at 85,000 Rand. R85,000. Tuso, would you like to challenge that? 85,000 Rand for the 40-year-old. 85,000 Rand for the old. Derek, I know you were eyeing this one out, and now you're awfully quiet. Melvin, you know I'm going to call you out as well. You were determined to get this one. 85,000 Rand for the 40-year-old. Jez? No, I wasn't saying do that. R85,000 for the 40-year-olds. Anyone interested? All right, we'll take it down to 80,000 Rand. It's rare to find. There's only 600 bottles, and it retails at 90,000 Rand. So it's a great investment that you'll reap rewards on. I don't want to go lower. Ma'am, you're scratching your head. It's dangerous at 80,000 Rand. Steve? No? 80,000 Rand? Lutando? Vinny? Mhleli? You flew all this way not to bid for 80,000 Rand? I mean, why are you even here? Go big or go home. In fact, did you leave home? Go home, please. Please, can someone escort 80,000 Rand? It's high quality. We can't drop this one from 80,000 Rand. All right, so now to sweeten the deal, it will include a private tasting for you and some friends with our brand ambassador, Jez. Jez, don't stand up, don't do it, don't do it. 80,000 Rand, anyone keen on taking this one? All right, we're going to have to wrap this one up quickly. I'm going to have to say no. If no one takes it, we're going to have to move on or come back to it. Kelly, are you happy to? Yeah, we're not going to go lower. We don't discount. All right. Just so everyone knows, we're going to be having two very, very rare and in-demand whiskeys or two two whiskeys that we're going to be having: the Glenfiddich 12-year-old and the 12-year-old Amontillado finish, which is the new Glenfiddich 12-year-old Amontillado Sherry Cask Expression, and it's released specifically for the Asian market. And it's a fine limited edition that was finished in the unique sherry and is extremely limited and unavailable in South Africa. That will be available on the online auction, which will be starting on the 31st of May. Which you'll be able to get on www.glenfiddichchallengersclub.co.za, and you'll be able to bid for it there. And then we will also be having the Glenfiddich Grand Cortez 22, which is also going to be on that silent auction online, which you can bid for on the 31st of May. So if you're at home, because lots of people have been also trying to get their hands on a few of these, but they can't, this will be your opportunity to be able to bid for those for those two very wonderful whiskies as well on the silent auction on www.glenfiddichchallengesclub.co.za, and you can also do it on the 31st of May, everyone who's in the audience right now. So that's just to show you that. And then we will move on to our last one. And I think that's a good time to bring in a special item as well. It is the newly launched Glenfiddich Grand Composition Jackets and Grand Couronne. And we couldn't think of a better way to end the auction. And that is through this.
Fashion is everything. It's my means to communicate. It's actually allowed me to come out of my shell. My name is Mzugi Simbane, founder and the creative director of a fashion brand called Imprint. I'm born and raised in Cape Town, in the township, Khayelitsha. When I decided to sort of like explore fashion, I understood that I needed to have a voice. I needed to have something to communicate. There's a lot of clothing out there. There's a lot of people creating something inventive. My clothes need to not just stand for beautiful garments like I'm wearing now. It needs to have a story deeper than that, and that's what fashion is. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you look just generally in the South African fashion industry, there's a lot of creators, but a lot of creatives fail because there isn't an understanding of the fact that you are a creative, but operating in a business space. Like there needs to be a bottom line. Your creations can be amazing for the runway, but they need to be translated for, firstly, the South African market, and they also need to be translated in ways that make people feel like they can access them. To sort of like be in a space where I'm collaborating with this luxury brand, to see how these worlds sort of like collide and how these worlds sort of like blended together, it created something beautiful. The crowning moment in my career has got to be me participating in Fashion Week. I think it sort of like validated everything that I've always believed that my brand stands for. I see Imprint as this beautiful Pan-African brand that gets to be enjoyed and celebrated all over the world.
So you would have seen Mzugisi walking around with this beautiful outfit that he's got on, specially designed in accordance with the Grand Couronne. You can stand up. There we go. Show everyone what you... So together with this beautiful Grand Couronne, a 26-year-old, we're going to be bidding this limited edition jacket designed by Mzugisi with Grand Couronne 26-year-old, a 26-year-old single malt, which is finished in a cognac cask. But before we go into that, do you want to quickly say something about this piece that is being auctioned off?
Hi everyone. I wasn't planning on saying anything, but yeah. Basically, just to speak about the experience itself. Whenever I sort of like look at moments like this, I'm totally self-taught. So any achievement in the fashion space for me is always a validation. It always says the decision that I took, because I studied become accounting, qualified, but I had the support structure that allowed me to follow my dreams and to explore something different. So just to be here and to see how I was able to create something that didn't just make me visible for the local market, to design a print that when Kelly and Jazz said, when they sort of like presented everything, everyone was just blown away. So just that for me meant that I'm probably doing something that's bigger than what I saw. So the piece that I designed, it's part of a collection. So there's different pieces, avant-garde, ready to wear. So the idea with this one was to make something that's like very easy to wear, is unisex, which is mostly what the brand is about. And yeah, make it a collector piece with the print and telling the story of what Imprint is about, what Glenfiddich is about, and how the two worlds sort of like came together. Thank you.
Beautiful. So you've heard it from the designer as well. A beautiful, beautiful piece there. Unisex, one size fits all. It's not a jacket that has to be tailored to you. You will all be able to fit in it. Matthew, Lutando, you're all good. Tuso's looking like he really wants it as well. For me. All right, so as I said, it is the Grand Cru 26-year-old, a 26-year-old single malt, which is finished in cognac, in your cognac cask, beg your pardon, and as well as that beautiful item over there. And this is going to be starting at 20,000 Rand. Numbers up all over the place. All right, 22,000 Rand. 22,000 Rand, both battling to 24,000 Rand. 24,000 Rand. You were both eager for 20 and 22, 24. 24,000 Rand. 24,000, the 24,000 Rand, number 35. 26,000 Rand. Challenging number 35. It's a 26-year-old single malt as well as the beautiful jacket. Derek? Still at 24,000 Rand there. Anyone challenging at 26,000 Rand? Anyone challenging at 26,000 Rand? Come on, guys, that's so much. It's worth a lot more than that. There's a beautiful, beautiful custom piece there together with your bottle. You'll be able to match with your drink every time you have it. 26,000 Rand. 26,000 Rand. Okay, so 24,000 Rand going once. Anyone for 26,000 Rand? All right, we'll bring it down. 25,000 Rand, challenging that 24,000 Rand bid. $25,000. Okay, so 24,000 Rand going once. 24,000 Rand going twice. All right, sold. He said, I'm ready to pay. Fantastic. There we go. I just want to make sure there aren't any people who've decided to go back and bid on number four, the 40-year-old. No one else 40-year-old. That 40-year-old starting at 80,000 Rand. Getting confirmation. Checking once, checking twice. All right, well, I'm going to try and get a tally for everyone a little bit later. I'm not sure how we will find out in time. But do you know how much we managed to raise? Okay, cool. Perfect. But ladies and gentlemen, I really, really appreciate everyone digging deep and wanting to be able to support this wonderful, wonderful entrepreneurial venture, this great app, the Buza app, making a difference in people's lives in education. It's a great nod to EdTech in the country, great nod to education. It's amazing what Glenfiddich is doing to be able to support that. And it's wonderful how they're always supporting innovators and mavericks and new entrepreneurs and thought leaders who are doing incredibly well in their fields. And I want to say thank you very much for having me as your MC for the auction. I was strictly asked to make sure that we finish. I was strictly asked to make sure we finish at 10:30. If you look at your watches, I think I managed to do that. Thank you very much. Good night.
Well, there you have it.
There's
What
a
an
number that just
incredible
went up there.
evening that
Zuko,
has
you going
been.
for the
The
80,000
auction
Rand
is
for
done. And as you've seen, thousands of Rand has been raised towards Buza, Baratang's brainchild, of course, in collaboration with many other great thinkers. It's been another fabulous evening with Glenfiddich. Another very, very successful evening. And of course, the Challengers Club is a never-ending journey. And what a great night it's been here at the auction. So thank you very much. From me, it's a good night. And let's see how Booza flies.